Hello, 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 everyone, and happy Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Let's Talk About Shh. This is, of course, a live podcast. I'm getting an echo.
And happy Tuesday.
Sorry. There we go. I forgot to mute one of my tabs. Sorry about that. Anyway, so this is a live podcast where we talk about love, intimacy, and relationships and everything connected to that. So, who am I? My name's Tila. I'm a sex educator, relationship expert, and published author. I love helping people connect with their sexuality, with their loved ones, improve their relationships, all that good stuff, because it's a conversation that not enough people are having. And people are afraid to have because they're embarrassed or they think that they shouldn't. And the more that we talk about sex, the more comfortable we become talking about sex, the better sex lives we're going to have. All right? So, this is a live podcast, which means we are broadcasting live to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Copies of the podcast also go out to Spotify and iTunes and Google Play and Podbean. But as part of the live experience, you get to interact, which means you get to call in and you also get to comment, and your comments will show up in the video feed. So we want to make sure that we're creating a nice, friendly environment for everyone where people can feel comfortable to open up and ask questions. So a couple guidelines: if people are calling in or maybe people are coming to question, don't wonder why they're asking that. Don't say it's gross. Don't say it's horrible. Give that person some support, because either they don't know or they need help and they're brave enough to ask, right? And we want everybody to feel good about, getting help with what's troubling them, okay? So, opening up the phone lines. So, if you want to call in at any point to ask a question or to comment on the topic of the day, if you want to call in with a question that's not related to our topic, please do. We can always go back to the topic later, but you can call in at 1-877-777-5589. So, I thought today that we would talk about fetishes a little bit. We did an episode, Introduction to BDSM, a few weeks ago, and people really loved that. And I got a lot of positive feedback, and I got a few requests for follow-ups and covering some more topics like that, because it's a conversation that not as many people know where to find information about, and people get a little nervous about asking. So I want to cover some common questions that we get when it comes to fetishes. And so a couple of things. Obviously the title of the episode, are fetishes normal? That is a super common question. And the answer is yes. Fetishes are super common, really common. It's not abnormal, it's not weird. Everybody has a unique thing that they're interested in and that they are attracted to, and there's nothing shameful in that. The important part is that everyone is consenting adults, right? That is the important piece. A lot of people tend to ask how fetishes come into being. How are we attracted to what we get attracted to? And there's no simple answer to that. Some of it ties into what our sexual orientation is, and we discussed sexual orientation a few episodes back, so if you missed that, please go back and check it out. But part of it is also what our experiences are and how we respond to things and how we internalize things. So at some point, as we're growing up, we come to associate certain things with safety, with good feelings, with the feeling of being loved. And sometimes some of those things, it looks like we have somebody calling in. That's great. Hello, hello, you're on the air. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, this is Greg.
Hi, Greg.
I'm sorry, but I had a hard time trying to get in, but I finally made it. So
That's great. Thanks
thank
for
you
calling
for
in.
well, I thank you for uh, doing this for us. I
Hmm.
really do appreciate it.
So, do you have a
Um,
question
I, I
today?
yes, I do, and
Okay.
um, you're talking about fetishes, and
Yes.
I I'm loaded with them, unfortunately. Uh, First of all, let me give you a little bit of background about me. I'm not going to say my personal identity, but my name is Greg, and
It's nice to meet you, Greg.
just be. And I live in New England,
Hmm.
uh, in the United States, and I've I've kind of had this problem, which I'm somewhat confusing. I'm in my late 50s. I'm
Okay.
not quite 60 yet, but I'm getting close. Uh, my fetishes started with my mother,
Okay.
um, and sometimes I'm absolutely fine with it. Other times, I kind of wonder. I just don't know. Um, so my fetishes are primarily soft things. My
Hmm.
mother wore furs, Angora sweaters,
Hmm.
uh, and she also wore high heels, which isn't the soft part, but still, it was something that turned me on quite a bit.
Hmm.
And
Lots
I,
of people have attraction to high heels and shoes in general, along with women's clothing. It's very common.
yes, I mean, but and now I have been with, I was married for a while. I was been with a lot of other women. My girlfriend is very supportive of my fetishes, and
Hmm.
she understands. And I share with her the whole situation of mom. Actually, since I grew up with her, um, we actually went to grammar school together, so
Hmm.
she knew my mother and all that stuff. So um, I've never received any negative feedback from the women in my life about this, but
Well, that's good.
when I when I think about mom, I just get crazy horny, and I know it's fetishes, but
Hmm.
I kind of wonder, really, is it just the fetishes? What else would I do?
Hmm.
Um, Now, I was from a very loving family. I'm a Polish descent.
Hmm.
My whole family's Polish, and we were very loving. And so, kissing and hugging were just a normal part of my
Family
family
interaction.
life.
Yeah.
So, and then, but with mom, it just got, I don't know.
Took on a
I was
different
just,
meaning.
I, I loved my mother just
Hmm.
like anybody else would love their mother, but uh, I, I used to be in the alt lifestyle,
Hmm.
and someone told me she was your first fetish girl, and I kind of have to agree with that.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, mom caught me playing with her stuff,
Hmm.
and yet she never. I mean, she yelled at me, but she never really took anything away from me. She never tried to hide it from me.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of
How
mixed
old were you
feelings.
when this happened?
Um, Teens, I was in the 60s and 70s, so just going into puberty, I guess. I mean, I played with her stuff a lot. I mean,
Hmm.
if she wasn't around, I was in her closet like crazy.
Hmm.
So, but then it never really stopped. And even after my mother passed, she was quite young. She was 53 when she died
Okay.
in the 80s. And, but I asked my father if I could have some of mom's clothes. And he was very open minded. He knew, he said, sure, go ahead,
Hmm.
take that. So I do appreciate that, but it's, um, I don't know. It's just kind of confusing, because
Hmm.
you're not supposed to love your mother like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh, but she, I just had the hots for her. And my ex wife, who I was with for 28 years, actually, after I got some of Mom's things, she and she was being very good about things, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and she made me tell her that I wanted to fuck my mother,
Okay.
and I I said I did what she said, so I said yes, I want to fuck my mother,
Do you
and
feel that
so
statement rings true for you? Or was that something you just said because of the conversation you had with your ex?
um,
Or are you
I
not
think
sure?
so.
Yeah?
I'm not really not sure, but it's like the older I get, the more I think it probably was, and that's just I don't know. I was born, as I said, Polish, but also
Mm-hmm.
Catholic. I was an altar boy for years, so these are not things you have about your mother, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So I was a bit confused. Um, so I don't know. Did I? Secretary